He's one of the best vocalists and guitarists and songwriters of all time, in my opinion. Man, it's starting Stryper, changed the whole scene of Christian rock and Christian metal, if you'd call it that. I wouldn't even call it that. I'll call it great music that glorifies God, but none before and none after. It's none other than the Michael Sweet. He doesn't age, he doesn't fade. He just keeps getting better. How's it going, my man?
Very kind of you, brother. Very
True.
kind. I've been doing this a long time, and it when I think about it, we started in '83. Technically, first album came out in '84. It kind of blows my mind. Here I am, going to be 61 years old, still doing it, and it's just mind-boggling. It's incredible, and I feel like we still got a lot left to do here on this
Well,
earth. Really
it
do.
blows me away. I mean, Michael, your song Yahweh, the fact that you can still sing that, I'm a fan of Bon Jovi as well. And you know what? A lot of artists have struggled, maintaining their voices, and maybe lowering the keys. But my goodness, folks, if you go listen to Stryper's new music, you would never think that you've missed a beat. Man, you don't age, but I'm blown away with what you can still do. I think it's better than ever. But Yahweh is another example of, man, that note that you can hit, and of course your masterful guitar playing as well. But you're making more history, Michael, right now. You've got an acoustic album coming out. Come on, tell me about that.
Yeah, I've been doing acoustic shows for quite a while, over 10 years. And I've been able to play these songs, a lot of the same arrangements and translations that you hear on this Stryper acoustic album, I've been playing live.
Wow.
And it's really cool and people love it. And I always thought it'd be really great if Stryper was able to do an acoustic album. And the reason being is because it would showcase some of the things that you might not pick up on. For example, the three-part harmony vocals. We have that on the Stryper albums, but there's something really cool about it when it's organic and in person, acoustically, and just bare bones. There's something really special about it. So it's really great playing these songs. We're doing a tour coming up in support of this album. It's called To Hell with the Amps. And we thought, we kind of did that in let's have a little fun here and put a smile on everybody's faces. That's why we chose that title.
I love it. And of course, hey, it was controversial, To Hell with the Devil, which was incredible. And God We Trust. Oh, the list goes on. Your mega hit Always. I mean, where does it stop, man? Michael, you've always written fantastic hooks, and a lot of people, you have 12, 20 years to write your first album, but a couple of weeks to write your second. Man, how have you always kept it fresh and been able to continually come up with these fantastic hooks?
Well, it's really interesting that you say a couple weeks to write your second. I still use that mentality and that approach with every album. And what I mean by that is I work well under pressure. So I'm not like sitting around writing songs every day.
Yeah.
A lot of guys
Sure.
are. That's not what I do. What I do is when the album is scheduled, say in 6 months, we got to start on a new album. In 5 months, I'll start writing it. And, spend a couple weeks, a song per day, and then we go in and do it. And that's the way we've done every album since Reborn, really. All the solo albums, the Stryper albums. And I work really well under pressure. And that's the way I do it. I don't recommend that for anyone else, but it works for me,
Well, you're staying busy, you're keeping fresh. Again, I'm amazed of not only how you've been able to keep your voice, but it hasn't deteriorated at all in my mind. I mean, how have you done that? I mean, I can't think of anyone who still sounds the way they did back in the day. And here you are, man, you're belting it out like it's nothing. And maybe I'm just, maybe I'm wrong. Tell me.
I'll tell you how I do it, man. Before every album or every show, I basically get a bucket of ice and I pour it down my pants. And I'm able to go out and sing really high, But all seriousness, man, I don't know. I'm just thankful I can sing and to some degree pull off the songs, still somewhat well. I can't sing like I used to in 80, 88, 89. My voice has changed a little bit, but I think because my voice was so high
Yeah.
It's come down a little bit and it still works. You know what I mean? And I'm able to still pull it off mostly. And I'm thankful for that.
Well, I'm still blown away with Yahweh. I mean, my gosh, man. Again, though, I'm impressed that you have always maintained your faith message. I remember you being in guitar magazines, winning awards as an amazing guitarist alone. So many times, man, that you could have just gone the way of the others, but you maintain your faith message, even in a culture at that time where, I was talking to John Schlitt. I've interviewed John a lot of times, and I love him, and of Head East, and then Petra, and
Sure.
and,
Yeah.
and John, I was saying, John, the church hears music and says, how Christian is it? But the world hears music and said, hey, that's good music.
Yeah.
They're hungry. And, are you finding a warmer reception these days among the church, or is it like it was? What do you think?
It's to some degree like it was, not as high of a level. Back in the day, we were under the microscope and the scrutiny and attack, for lack of a better term. Nowadays, not as much, but it's still there. You still find it. And on both sides, that's the thing about Stryper. We kind of get it from the Christian side and we get it from the mainstream side,
Right.
Secular side, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of like, boom, boom, taking punches from on each side of the chin here,
Right.
And it doesn't stop us, though. We continue on and we stay focused, and we know we have a calling. We know what that is, and we're laser focused on that. And that's the way it's always been.
You have a lot of associations and friends with people in secular bands. The more I interview Hollywood celebrities and music industry icons, the more I realize how many have faith, but they just don't feel comfortable coming right out with it. They know that they may or may not be blackballed, but your song Radio, which by the way is a fantastic song, folks, go to YouTube and type in Michael Sweet Radio. It's masterfully done. Hey, you've never heard a banjo played with a heavy metal kind of a riff there. Hilarious, but you maintain your humor as well as your faith, and that song was talking about, how anyone, like even Steven Tyler, tried it, go to Nashville and buy a cowboy hat and try country music for a little bit, but it doesn't always work out that way. And I just how you've been able to keep your humor as well as your faith all these years, man.
Well, I'm poking fun at myself too, because I recorded a song called "Coming Home," more down that country road, and but the thing of, and I'm not saying I have any more right to do it than anyone else, but I did grow up in country music, believe it or not.
I didn't know that.
My parents were country singers and songwriters. They were managed by Mike Curb, who started Curb Records. Wow. And my dad, his writing partner was Fred Imus, who was Don Imus's brother. And they had a #1 country song in 1978. You can look it up, called "I Don't Want to Have to Marry You."
That's about as country as it gets.
Oh yeah. I don't want to have to marry you. I don't want to have to say I do. I want our love to be free, the way God meant love to be. And it's about waiting till we're married to be together. And it was #1. Jim Ed Brown, Helen Cornelius. So I grew up in country.
Wow.
So I figured, I want to do a country song someday, but I would never try to be a country artist.
Right.
That's like, to me, that's like Blake Shelton trying to be a metal artist.
It is kind of funny because where I'm from, Oklahoma City, Garth Brooks started out in rock and roll and then came up with the country, from what I've heard, when he'd sing at the Oasis. I don't know.
That's okay. No, you know what? Certain times it totally works. Garth's one example of that, obviously.
Yeah.
The difference being is Garth didn't record and release rock albums for years, then go country.
There you go. Because it just, it's just, I thought Bon Jovi did pretty good, Who Says You Can't Go Home, but still, man, it's still, what you're known for is what you're known for. Your video of Radio, which is fantastic. You've got some all-stars playing with you as well as in that video too. You want to tell us who they are?
Oh, well, I've got Joel Hoekstra, playing guitar. He's now playing with Accept,
Wow.
but he also plays for Cher. He played for Night Ranger. He's in one of my bands called Iconic, and he plays for Trans-Siberian Orchestra. He's phenomenal.
Wow.
And then we have Todd Kearns, who plays for Slash and a number of other projects. He's just phenomenal as well. Singer, bass player, wonderful person. And the drummer is Scotty Coogan,
Wow.
but he wound up, even Scotty played in Bizarre and then was supposed to be in radio. And then we had to have a guy sit in for Scotty because he couldn't make it to the video shoot. But anyway, and Scotty plays for Ace Frehley and a number of other bands. I'm all about working with different musicians, and I love the challenge, man. I love it. It challenges.
You also had, didn't you have someone with Dawkins too that was playing on that track or some way associated?
He didn't play on that track, but I've done 3 albums with George Lynch, the guitar player for Dawkins. Wow. And that's called Sweet and Lynch, original there. But yeah, that's the best we could come up. George wanted to name it Lynch Sweet.
What kind of weed is that? Well, you know,
why don't we call it Lynch Sweet? Ha ha ha! And I'm like, yeah, okay, that would no, I don't think. So.
Well, it's always exciting to see the brotherhood among musicians. You know, whether it's secular or Christian. You know, in my opinion, I do a lot of television. Did some counterterrorism reporting as well, news anchoring, and anymore, I don't even say it's Christian secular. It's either good or bad. It's either righteous or evil. It's either blatantly satanic or it's just amoral or moral. You know, I mean, Michael, you know, as you have stood your ground, released incredible music, maintain your faith and your humor, earn the respect of everybody that you associate with in the music industry, regardless of what bands they're in. What is your take, man, on this open, crazy, ritualistic presentations, at the Grammys concert? I mean, my gosh.
I'm always a guy who speaks my views. I don't hold back. Like, I speak out against stuff and in favor of stuff. And I take a bold stand, whatever it is. And because of that, I get a lot of flack, and that doesn't bother me. I don't care. You have to stand for something. That old saying, if you stand for something, great. If you stand for nothing, you've got issues, and you got to be really
you'll fall for anything. Yeah.
You have to take a stand. And I've done that my whole life. I mean, obviously with Stryper, lyrically, we're as bold a band lyrically as any Christian, quote unquote, Christian band out there.
Oh yeah.
But yet we don't play the church.
Yeah.
We're not here for the church. We go and play all the big rock festivals, and that's who we're here for. And it's really interesting where God has put us and where He has taken us. And boy, I tell you, we're very blessed. Really are.
You are blessed, and you're the newest addition to your band is a blessing as well. Tell us about him.
Man. Yeah, Perry Richardson. Yeah, phenomenal. Everybody knows Perry. He played in the band Firehouse.
Yeah,
but he also did the country thing too.
Wow.
Here we are joking about rock guys going country. Perry was a rock guy.
Now, did he keep the same hairstyle when he went country too?
Yeah, kept the same hairstyle. Yes. And he played for Trace Atkins and Craig Morgan.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Yeah. Michael, it's really important to me that people get behind you, that they support what you're doing. What's the best website to send them to and the best place for them to hear the music and buy your music?
Everyone, obviously, we're all over YouTube.
Yeah.
We have Stryper.com. We have MichaelSweet.com. We're all over. We're on Instagram, Michael Sweet and Stryper. We're on X. And we're on, of course, Facebook. And we're very active on all of the outlets, all of the social media pages. I'm on there every day posting stuff, try to make people laugh, try to make people think serious thoughts, try to bless people, try to encourage and inspire people. That's what it's all about.
Well, you not only do that now, you did that during COVID, man. I mean, you were doing these live, cool presentation. I mean, you're right there in your home studio and you're playing live and just demonstrating yet again, in a world of click tracks and hey, no shame, no blame, but in the world of auto tune, in the world of like even, with Van Halen, David Lee Roth was talking about how, the average solo for Eddie Van Halen was actually 4 or 5 or 6 different tracks kind of meshed together, so that he'd have to be all over that fretboard to actually pull it off live.
Yeah.
But it was just really cool, Michael, to see you as a real person. Yet, you really do have, I would say, a supernatural gift, without a doubt. Some people can study, but some people, man, they're just gifted. Music emanates from them. What I mean? And the fact that you continue to take territory from the Prince of the Power of the Air, one of the first musicians,
Yeah.
that you didn't go the way of the others, that you didn't join the 27 Club. Thank God. It just seems like yesterday I was in Oklahoma City at Crossroads Mall, and I'm looking at the Stryper album, and this sweet lady standing there, and she goes, "Oh, you like them?" And, yeah. And she says, well, I'm their aunt. That's Mikey and Bobby have been, that's what she called you.
Wow.
Mikey and Bobby, are doing so well, and I'm so proud of them. And I thought, man, wow, these are real
That's
guys.
probably Aunt Carolyn.
Yes,
Probably.
I believe so. And
It would have to be, because she's our aunt. She's gone now. She's passed, but that's my mom's sister, and she's very, very supportive of the band. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, one day I'm talking to Aunt Carolyn, and lovely lady, so proud of you and your brother, and
Wow.
the next thing you know, I'm at college, and I'm seeing the Always music video, and of course Robert's playing. He's so cool too. He's playing without sticks, but I thought, my gosh. But fast forward to now, all the times that you could have compromised, all the times you could have sold out, all the times you could have just lost your passion, and to a very ungrateful at times demographic, yet to a world that is loving what you're doing. Having been in worship, having been in ministry over 40 years, I've said to so many leaders in churches, look, people don't care how loud the drums are. They want to know why. They want to know why they shouldn't blow their brains out tonight.
Yeah,
that's where the world is, man. And
exactly.
Here you are encouraging people. I mean, Michael, for a lot of you, and I have to say, the response of me announcing and interviewing you was probably the most responded to post I've had in a while. And
wow.
People are excited about you, man. It's dudes like you that you're part of the soundtrack of our lives, man. And yet, man, you're not slowing down anytime soon. How would you encourage musicians now? It's a different world with the internet. I had a friend who you may know, and the guy was hitting 30 grand a month in royalties, and it went down to $114 in royalties a month because of streaming. And on one hand, as fast as you can record it, you can release it. But on the other hand, folks, you really need to get behind these artists and support their projects, especially Michael Sweet, Stryper.com, michaelsweet.com. But how would you encourage artists, who just want to make music for the love of music, and they want to get out there? What would you tell them right now?
Well, I would tell them it starts with hard work. Nothing's going to come for free. You have to be disciplined. You have to work hard. And what I mean by work hard, I mean, be a go-getter. Yeah. Don't sit and wait for things to come to you. Go get them. Yeah. And that's how I'm built. And, it's a lot of work. I mean, we work hard. Lisa, my wife, my daughter, Lena, they're here working now in the office. I'm here working in the studio. It's work every day. It's a job, but it's also a ministry, so for me, it's a fine balance. But for all those musicians out there, don't get discouraged. You're going to hear the word no a million times, but you're also going to hear the word yes too. Don't give up on the yes. Stay focused. Put God first. God will bless it. Start every day with prayer. Go out there and seize the day, and it's going to all work out. I promise you.
And seize the day is right. Yeah, there's a pastor from Pennsylvania, Doug Pitska. Been a huge fan of Stryper since they started. May God bless them greatly. Yes. Pastor Jeremy Sutton in Midland. Boy, he's a cool musical pastor as well. He's the real deal, loves people. He said, "Calling on You" was my go-to. Bess Ross, she did the merchandising for some big bands as well. And I think she was talking to Chester at one time. Natalie Kraus, thank you for the encouragement. Natalie is an artist in Pennsylvania as well. Michael, again, brother, just breathing, dude. You're encouraging people. What I've been doing with interviewing these celebrities is taking Americans back to a better time. And a lot of them, they've already had their day, but Michael, you're not stopping. Your day is not a past tense thing. You continue to work hard. You continue to be innovative. Continue to blow my mind with your abilities, but your faith and giving credit where credit is due. Man, I got to tell you, the last, I think 3 times I got to interview on the radio, I was just excited. I thought, my gosh, man, I really hope that people continue to support the incredible work of Stryper. Now it's a new generation. And aren't you noticing a new generation? I mean, the boomers loved you, the Xers love you. This new generations are coming up too. You've got fans among them as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. Every show we go out and we see more and more young people. And when I say young people, I'm talking about 13, 14, 15-year-olds coming to our shows. And not just one in an audience of 1,000 or 2,000 people, but a lot wearing Stryper shirts, and they're old vintage Stryper. And they got them from their parents, and sometimes their grandparents, and it makes you feel a little old. You're like, okay, I'm getting old. I'm not getting young, but they're there enjoying the music, being fed by it. And it's really incredible and so inspiring.
Well, you know what? Speaking of inspiration, as we're winding down, man, I'm so grateful to have you on the multiple shows you're going to be seen on. You're going to be seen on CBS affiliates. Love to get you on the live simulcast, the chat, live CBS, live radio, at the most patriotic part and richest part of the country, the Permian Basin and the Panhandle, the last bastion of American freedom. I've got about 10 shows, man, that I want to get segments of this interview on. Please know that you're always welcome in anything that I'm doing. And again, God keeps giving me platforms and I keep giving them away. I can't even keep up with it, and sometimes he waits till you stop wanting something to give it all to you so that you give it all away, But speaking of inspiration, I don't really know the inspiration remember the Yellow and Black attack, folks? Yellow and Black. Where did you get that inspiration when you first started?
I'll give you the God honest truth here, the true story. We were fascinated by caution signs in California back pre-Stryper and pre-Christian. So this is when I became a Christian when I was 12 and then kind of walked away from the church. And around the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, those were some crazy years. Okay.
Yeah.
And we used to go out, and again, don't try this at home. We used to go out and take some of those caution signs and we'd put them on the walls of the studio, and they were yellow and black, right?
Woo! Yeah, baby.
And then Van Halen came out, and Eddie had the yellow and black guitar, Bumblebee, right? 78.
Yeah.
And we went, whoa, we love that, yellow and black. And it kind of morphed into Rob painting his kit yellow and black, and then guitars becoming yellow and black, and everything becoming yellow and black. And this was before Stryper. This is when we were Rock's regime.
Yep.
And that's kind of the rest is history, as they say. And eventually we came up with the name Stryper, and then the scripture Isaiah 53:5, by his stripes we were healed, and everything just came together and made sense.
So cool, man. It just seems like yesterday you dudes were on cool looking modified vehicles with samurai swords, and who loves the samurai swords more, you or Rob?
Probably my brother. Yeah, we went to Japan for the first time. We were like kids in a candy store. We went crazy buying samurai swords and little pellet guns. And that's what's on the cover of the Soldiers album. The guns on the cover and the swords on the back. And I'm like, what is going on here? We couldn't get away with that. Now, we used to drive to the supermarket in the van on the cover of Soldiers, and it had a 50 caliber machine gun on the top of it.
Oh my gosh.
No, and we would We would drive to the supermarket. The back gate would go down. We'd walk out of the back, right out of a movie, go get milk and eggs and bread, go back in the back and drive away. We'd be arrested right now. We'd be in jail.
Oh man, gosh, you know what? One of your videos, it looked like the largest stage I've ever seen. Different platforms that you guys are on. I'm trying to remember.
We did a video for the song "Always There for You."
Always there for you. Always, yeah, yeah.
We were on a giant $100 bill stage. And we were on these little triangular pyramid-like platforms hanging by chains. Yeah, we were in a helicopter. That was a very expensive video. We shot that where they stored the spruce goose.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, in Long Beach, California.
Oh my gosh, man. Well, it is a delight. It's an honor to see you face to face, you know, and again, sky high excitement. You know, guys, hey, guys and gals, do it right now. Be sure and go to the website. Go to Stryper.com.
Stryper.com, michaelsweet.com, and we're on Instagram, Facebook, X now, formerly Twitter. Yeah, we're going to be out touring all year long. We got a new acoustic album out. I've got a Sunbomb album with Tracy Guns coming out in June, and then Stryper's releasing a new studio album, full length, in September.
Okay, a new studio album, full length, in September. Are you at liberty to give the name of that album?
I'm not yet. I'll get in trouble. But we are going to be doing a press release soon and announcing the name. The first song will come out in July. And I'll just say this: if you like Yahweh, you're gonna love this.
Oh my gosh, I know we're gonna love it, and that's how you know it's live. This chord came out for the first time in probably 300 interviews. That's okay, because we are live in real time. And you know, again, you know, the love of Jesus is really supernatural, but it's supernaturally real. And yes, Michael, man, you know what? You're real, and I really appreciate that. Please come back and let's pre-buy some albums whenever you're ready to announce the name of that. Awesome. Again, yeah, and again, folks.
Oh yeah, no, let's do it, man. Let's plan another interview at that time, and I would love to come back. And thank you for wanting me back. And you know, I can't wait for you to hear that album. It's a really special album. We're very excited about it. I always say it's our best with every album. People laugh at me for saying that, but I really believe this is our best album yet. I really do.
Well, I tell you what, you can catch up with Michael at michaelsweet.com, Stryper.com, and be watching the multiple shows. Word on the Street, It's Friday, The Chat, Amarillo Spotlight, and Hightower, whatever. You're going to see Michael, hopefully a lot more on those shows anytime he wants. What an honor. So good to see you, my man. God bless you. And we'll see you next time, folks.
You too, brother. God bless you, man. And all the best to you and your audience. And I can't wait to see you. You're looking great, man. Keep it up.